Joining me now is Jeffrey Toobin. Jeffrey, great to see you.
Handsome Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
Okay.
So, all right, you believe that Merrick Garland deserves blame? Is it fair to call it blame?
I wouldn't call it blame, and I think it's very important to draw a distinction between his role in 1995 and his role now. Back in 1995, he was an upper mid-level representative of the Justice Department. He was not a policymaker, but he was the person in charge of that investigation. And the key thing we need to remember about 1995, and you of all people will remember this well, the bombing was April 19th, 1995. The O.J. Simpson criminal case, which we covered together, began in January of 1995, and that was something that had a big impression on Garland in a very negative way. He resolved that the Oklahoma City bombing case was never going to be like that. There was never going to be a lot of media attention to the extent he could control it. The lawyers were not going to become celebrities. And this aversion to publicity and this desire to have court cases tried only in the courtroom is something that he brought with him to the Justice Department as Attorney General, and I think that's where you can criticize his behavior for not sounding the alarm more about what's really going on in this country and the threat of right-wing extremism.
And do you think if that had happened at the time, we might be at a different place than we are today with regard to January 6th and beyond?
It's hard to unravel that. I'll tell you who did get this case and who did understand what was really happening here, and that was Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, I interviewed both Garland and Clinton for Homegrown, and the thing that was so interesting about talking to Clinton was that he said, and other people confirmed this from private conversations that Clinton had with him at the time, he knew when a lot of people thought these were that the Oklahoma City bombing was Islamic extremists, Clinton said to them, no, this was domestic, this was the militias. And I said, how did you know that? He said, because I dealt with them for 12 years in Arkansas. And he went through chapter and verse of his dealings with right-wing extremists in Arkansas. I checked it out after the interview. His memory was extraordinary. So, I think that was a message that needed to be reinforced and should have been over subsequent years.
Is there a thread between January 6th? I mean, some people are going to say you can't compare Oklahoma City bombing to January 6th, right?
And it's a very clear thread, in my view. If you look at the motivations behind McVeigh, a lot of people recognize and remember that McVeigh was motivated by his outrage about the FBI at Waco, which took place on April 19th, 1993. McVeigh made sure the bombing was exactly 2 years later on the anniversary. However, just as important as his outrage about McVeigh was about Waco was his outrage about the assault weapons ban. McVeigh was obsessed with gun rights. He was fixated on the idea that the federal government was going to take his guns away. That's a connecting tissue to the present. The belief in violence as justifiable, an obsession with the founding fathers, the idea that just because that just as you could rebel against the British, we can rebel against the British government. All of that is replicated with considerable precision in the January 6th protesters, the rioters, insurrectionists, just as it was with McVeigh.
And so do you think you can compare Merrick Garland's response to the Oklahoma City bombing, the way he wanted to deal with the case, with the way he's dealing with the January 6th cases?
I certainly do. And in fact, the extreme reluctance to say anything about the threat to the country from insurrectionists, from right-wing violence, is I think a disservice. This is a continuing threat to the country. It may not be with bombs the way it was with McVeigh, but it is with AR-15s. I mean, there are right-wing extremists shooting up Walmart in El Paso, the synagogue in Pittsburgh, the grocery store in Buffalo. They are out there. They're doing it again. And McVeigh and Garland now has a platform that he could be using to warn, and he's not doing it.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.